The boardroom feels like a courtroom. I'm sitting across from Mitchell Dane, my boss and COO of our Chicago consulting firm. My laptop trembles slightly as I close my presentation. For months, I've been working on this idea in my spare time, a digital platform for farming cooperatives. Mitchell had given me permission to develop it on my own time. My heart pounds as I wait for feedback. The board members shift in their seats. Stephen Lorne, our biggest client, watches silently from the video screen. Then Mitchell laughs, a cold, mocking sound that cuts through the silence. "That's cute, Kara. Your little startup idea," he says, grinning at the board. "Maybe you should keep it for your book club. We do real business here." The room erupts in laughter. My face burns with embarrassment. I spent nights researching farming cooperatives, studying supply chain inefficiencies, mapping out solutions. This wasn't just an idea. It was a carefully crafted business plan. Mitchell turns to the board, dismissing me completely. "Sorry for the detour. Let's move on to the client pipeline, where real money is made." I gather my laptop slowly. Nobody meets my eyes. Stephen doesn't laugh, but I'm too humiliated to notice. That night, I start typing my resignation letter. 6 months earlier, I had pitched this same idea during our quarterly innovation meeting. Mitchell barely looked up from his phone. "Farming tech? Kara, we're a Fortune 500 consulting firm, not a county extension office." He promised to circle back after reviewing my research. I waited 3 weeks for feedback that never came. The second pitch happened during our company retreat. I cornered Mitchell during coffee break, showing him market projections and profit potential. He nodded politely but assigned me to audit insurance claims the next Monday. "Let's focus on proven revenue streams," he said. The third attempt was formal. I submitted a detailed proposal through proper channels. Mitchell's assistant scheduled a 5-minute slot between his real meetings. He skimmed my executive summary while checking email. "Interesting concept, but our clients need sophisticated solutions," he said without looking up. "This seems pretty basic." Basic. That word stung. I had identified a $2.8 billion market gap. Regional farming cooperatives were hemorrhaging money through outdated supply chain management. They needed simple, affordable technology, not the complex enterprise systems Mitchell preferred selling. But Mitchell saw only small-town farmers. I saw untapped potential. After today's humiliation, I finally understand he'll never see what I see. The week after my boardroom embarrassment, Mitchell calls me into his office. The Chicago skyline stretches behind his mahogany desk, but the view feels cold today. "Kara, I've been thinking about your development priorities," he begins, not bothering with pleasantries. "That presentation showed me you might be spreading yourself too thin." I grip my coffee mug tighter. "What do you mean?" "Innovation is important, but execution matters more." He slides a folder across his desk. "I'm reassigning you to the Morrison account. They need someone detail-oriented for their compliance audit." The Morrison account. Spreadsheets and regulatory paperwork, work that any junior analyst could handle. "What about the Henderson project?" I ask. "Henderson is our biggest consulting contract this quarter. I've been leading their digital transformation strategy for 3 months. Mitchell's smile doesn't reach his eyes. "Angela will take over Henderson. She's ready for more responsibility." Angela. His 26-year-old niece who started here 8 months ago. She's smart enough, but she doesn't understand enterprise systems like I do. Henderson specifically requested me for this project. "Mitchell, I built the Henderson framework from scratch, and now Angela will implement it. Consider this a growth opportunity for the team." I leave his office knowing exactly what this is. Punishment for daring to think beyond his narrow vision. Angela's promotion is announced the following Monday. She's now Senior Strategy Consultant, the title I'd been promised for next quarter. During the staff meeting, Mitchell praises her fresh perspective and innovative thinking. I sit in the back row, watching colleagues congratulate her. Some shoot me sympathetic glances. Others avoid eye contact entirely. Office politics are clear. Mitchell has decided I'm not leadership material. After the meeting, my friend Jessica corners me by the coffee machine. "This is bullshit, Kara. Everyone knows you're the best strategist here." I force a smile. "Angela's capable. She'll do fine." "That's not the point." Jessica lowers her voice. "Mitchell's trying to force you out." Tom from HR told me they've been discussing your cultural fit in leadership meetings. My stomach drops. Cultural fit. Corporate speak for we don't like you but can't fire you legally. Why would he want me gone? Jessica glances around nervously. Because you're a threat. Your ideas are better than his, and he knows it. That farming thing? I heard Stephen Lorne asking questions about it after your presentation. Stephen Lorne, Mitchell's biggest client, worth nearly 40% of our annual revenue. If Stephen was interested in my idea, why didn't Mitchell listen? What kind of questions? Technical ones. Market analysis stuff. He seemed genuinely curious. I file this information away, unsure what it means. 3 weeks later, I'm drowning in Morrison's compliance paperwork when exhaustion hits me like a freight train. I've been pulling double shifts, trying to prove my value while watching Angela stumble through the Henderson project. The bathroom mirror shows dark circles under my eyes. When did I start looking so defeated? I splash cold water on my face and check my phone. Another email from Henderson's CEO asking for clarification on deliverables. Angela forwarded it to me with a note. Can you handle this? Still learning the system? She's still learning the system I built. Walking back to my cubicle, I overhear Mitchell on a call. His office door is cracked open and his voice carries. No, Stephen. The Henderson timeline is firm. Angela has everything under control. A pause. Then Kara? She's focused on other priorities now, more suited to her skill level. My hands clench into fists. Other priorities, like auditing insurance claims and fixing Angela's mistakes. This is what 11 years of loyalty gets me. That night, I break down in my apartment, ugly crying over a bowl of reheated pasta. My cat watches judgment-free from the windowsill. Jessica texts, "You okay? You looked rough today." I type and delete a dozen responses. Finally, just tired. But I'm not just tired. I'm done. My resignation letter is 2 paragraphs. Professional, gracious, no drama. I thank Mitchell for opportunities and wish the company success. No mention of the Henderson project, Angela's promotion, or my little startup idea. I print it during lunch break and slide it under Mitchell's door while he's in meetings. My hands shake slightly, but my decision feels solid. An hour later, Mitchell appears at my desk. His expression is unreadable. "Can we talk privately?" In his office, he closes the door and sits across from me. "This is unexpected, Kara. Is this about the Henderson reassignment?" "It's about fit," I say, using his own language. "I think we want different things." He leans back, studying me. "Where are you going?" "I'm taking some time to explore opportunities." It's not entirely true. I have 3 months of savings and a half-formed plan to build my farming platform. But Mitchell doesn't need those details. "If this is about money, we can discuss." "It's not about money," he nods slowly. "Well, I'm sorry to lose you. 2 weeks' notice? 1 week. I'll transition everything to Angela." That evening, I sell my car to a neighbor for $6,000. Public transportation will have to work. I break my lease and find a studio apartment in a cheaper neighborhood. My savings stretch further without car payments and downtown rent. Moving day feels like shedding skin. My new studio apartment is tiny but bright. I set up my desk by the window overlooking a community garden. The view reminds me why I believe in agricultural innovation. For the first time in months, I open my farming platform research. Spreadsheets full of cooperative data, market analysis, technology requirements. The work that Mitchell dismissed as cute. I create a new folder on my desktop. Kara Co. It's just a placeholder name, but it feels official. This is mine. No corporate interference, no Mitchell's approval needed. I can build this exactly how I envision it. My phone buzzes with a LinkedIn notification. Someone viewed my profile, then another. Word is spreading about my departure. Angela calls that evening. "Kara, I'm so sorry about everything. The Henderson project is complicated. Could you maybe consult part-time? I'm focusing on other things now." "But you built the whole framework. I'm drowning here." I feel a pang of sympathy, then remember she accepted a promotion she wasn't ready for. "You'll figure it out, Angela. You're smart." After hanging up, I pour wine and order Chinese takeout. Tomorrow, I start building my own future. No boardroom presentations, no Mitchell's mockery. Just me, my laptop, and $1 billion market opportunity. My email pings, unknown sender subject line, Caraco inquiry. My heart stops. Nobody knows about Caraco except me. The email is short. "Miss Whitman, are you still working on Caraco? I'd like to discuss potential collaboration. Stephen Lorne, Lorne Ventures. Stephen Lorne, Mitchell's biggest client, the man who didn't laugh during my presentation. I read the message 5 times, convinced it's spam or mistaken identity. But the email signature is legitimate. Lorne Ventures, the investment firm that accounts for nearly half of Mitchell's revenue. How does Stephen know about Caraco? I created that folder yesterday. Then I remember Jessica's comment about Stephen asking technical questions after my presentation. Maybe he was more interested than I realized. I draft 3 different responses before settling on simple professionalism. Mr. Lorne, yes, I'm developing the agricultural technology platform I presented last month. I'd be happy to discuss it further. His reply comes within an hour. Coffee tomorrow? Lou Mitchell's on Union, 10 a.m. Lou Mitchell's, a classic Chicago diner, not far from my old office. Public, casual, perfect for a preliminary conversation. I spend the evening preparing. Not a formal presentation, I learned that lesson, but talking points and market data. If Stephen Lorne wants to discuss my little startup idea, I'll be ready. That night, I barely sleep. This could be everything or nothing. But for the first time since leaving Mitchell's firm, hope flickers in my chest. Tomorrow, I find out what Stephen saw that Mitchell missed. Lou Mitchell smells like coffee and possibility. Stephen Lorne sits in a corner booth, checking his phone. He's younger than I expected, maybe 45, with the casual confidence of generational wealth. Kara, he stands to shake hands. Thanks for meeting me. Thank you for reaching out. I'm curious how you found me, he grins. Mitchell thinks he's the only one who understands market dynamics. He's wrong. Stephen signals the waitress for coffee. Your presentation last month was the most interesting thing I've heard in his boardroom in years. Mitchell seemed to disagree. Mitchell doesn't understand where markets are moving. He's stuck selling yesterday's solutions to tomorrow's problems. Stephen leans forward. But you saw something different. Tell me about farming cooperatives. For 30 minutes, I explain my research. Regional cooperatives hemorrhaging money through inefficient supply chains, technology gaps costing millions annually, a market desperate for simple, affordable solutions. Stephen takes notes on his phone. His questions are sharp, specific. He understands distribution networks, profit margins, scalability challenges. You're right about the market size, he says finally. My grandfather ran a grain elevator in Iowa. These problems have existed for decades. So why hasn't anyone solved them? Because consulting firms like Mitchell's think farmers want enterprise software. They don't. They want tools that work. I want to fund this. Stephen says over his second cup of coffee. My heart skips. Seriously? Dead serious. But I have conditions. He slides a business card across the table. First, you maintain complete creative control. This is your vision, your execution. I nod, afraid to speak. Second, we keep this quiet initially. Mitchell can't know I'm backing you until we're ready to launch. Why the secrecy? Stephen's smile is sharp. Because Mitchell just lost his biggest client's trust. He mocked innovation in front of an investor. That's business suicide. You're pulling your account? Eventually. But not yet. I want to see what you build first. He leans back. Third condition. 60-40 profit split, 60 to you. You do the work, you get the bigger share. 60% of everything. No corporate bureaucracy, no Mitchell's approval, no committee decisions. What's the timeline? 6 months to proof of concept. 12 months to market launch. I'll provide seed funding, legal support, whatever you need. I think about my studio apartment, my 3 months of savings, my complete lack of business network. 6 months ago, I was auditing insurance claims. Now I'm negotiating with a venture capitalist. I need one thing, I say. What? I want to hire my own team, people I trust. Stephen extends his hand. Deal. We shake, and I feel my entire future shift. Caraco isn't just a folder on my desktop anymore. It's real. Building a team from my living room feels surreal. I reach out to Sarah and Marcus, 2 colleagues who left Mitchell's firm before me. Both were brilliant analysts who clashed with corporate culture. Sarah answers on the second ring. Kara, I heard about your resignation. Good for you. Want to hear about something better than resignation? I explain Caraco, the funding, the opportunity. Sarah worked in agricultural consulting before joining Mitchell's firm. She understands cooperative structures better than anyone. You're serious about this? Dead serious. Stephen Lorne is backing us. A pause. Stephen Lorne? Mitchell's biggest client? Former biggest client, probably. Sarah laughs. Oh, this is delicious. Count me in. Marcus takes more convincing. He's been freelancing since leaving Mitchell's firm, building a decent client base. But when I explain the market opportunity and funding level, his enthusiasm grows. So we're building agricultural software in your apartment? Until we can afford office space. And Mitchell has no idea? None. Marcus grins. When do we start? The third team member is unexpected. David, a 24-year-old intern who challenged Mitchell's methods and got quietly fired. He's brilliant with user interface design and understands rural technology adoption better than most veterans. You want me to work on what? David asks over video call. The future of agricultural technology. And we're competing with your old firm? Eventually. David's smile is pure mischief. I'm in. Our first client is Oak Grove Cooperative, a grain elevator network covering 3 counties in Illinois. Their CFO, Janet, responds to my cold email within hours. We've been looking for affordable supply chain solutions for 2 years, she tells me over the phone. Everything we found is either too expensive or too complicated. Perfect. That's exactly the gap we're filling. I drive to Oak Grove the following week in a rental car. The facility is smaller than I expected. Concrete silos, modest office building, trucks rumbling through the yard. Janet gives me a tour, explaining their challenges. We lose money on inefficient routing, she says, pointing to a wall map covered in pins. Drivers waste hours on poorly planned delivery schedules. Our manual tracking system can't handle the complexity. What would perfect routing look like? Real-time optimization, weather adjustments, cost per mile analysis, something simple enough for our drivers to use. I take notes, ask questions, observe their workflow. This isn't theoretical anymore. These are real problems costing real money. 3 weeks later, we deliver a pilot system. Basic functionality, rough interface, but it works. Oak Grove tests it with 5 drivers over 10 days. The results exceed expectations. Routing efficiency improves 12%. Fuel costs drop 8%. Driver satisfaction increases because their schedules make sense. Janet calls with the results. This is exactly what we needed. When can we expand the pilot? I hang up and text Stephen. First success. They want to expand. His response? Told you so. Mitchell's firm loses the Henderson account in November. Angela calls me, sobbing. They're pulling the entire contract, she says. Henderson's CEO said the deliverables don't match expectations. I feel bad for Angela, but not surprised. The Henderson project required deep understanding of integrated systems. Angela was set up to fail. What did Mitchell say? He's blaming external factors, market volatility, unrealistic client expectations, but everyone knows it's my fault. It's not your fault, Angela. You weren't ready for that level of responsibility. Henderson specifically asked for you in their exit meeting. My stomach tightens. What did you tell them? That you left for personal reasons. But they seem to know more than that. Henderson Industries is exactly the type of client who might need agricultural technology solutions. They own food processing facilities across the Midwest. If they're unhappy with Mitchell's firm, that evening, I research Henderson Industries more thoroughly. Their subsidiaries include grain processing, livestock feed manufacturing, and farmland investment. They're perfectly positioned to benefit from cooperative optimization technology. I draft a carefully worded email to their CEO. Mr. Henderson, I understand your consulting project experienced challenges. I'm now developing specialized agricultural technology solutions. Would you be interested in discussing your supply chain optimization needs? His response comes the next morning. Ms. Whitman, we'd be very interested. Can you meet next week? The meeting is scheduled for Tuesday. In Mitchell's old building. Henderson Industries maintains a Chicago office on the 14th floor of Mitchell's building. Taking the elevator to meet them feels like returning to a crime scene. Mr. Henderson is exactly what I expected. Weathered hands, practical demeanor, sharp eyes that miss nothing. He's built his business from the ground up and understands operational efficiency. Your former employer disappointed us, he says without preamble. Overpromised, underdelivered. Angela's a nice girl, but she didn't understand our industry. Agricultural businesses have unique challenges. Exactly. We don't need enterprise software. We need solutions that work in grain elevators and feed mills. He pulls out a tablet showing supply chain data. Can your platform handle this complexity? I walk him through our Oak Grove pilot results. Real data, measurable improvements, scalable solutions. Henderson asks detailed questions about integration requirements and deployment timelines. We're expanding into cooperative partnerships, he says. Your platform could optimize our entire network. The contract he proposes is substantial. 6 figures annually with expansion potential. It would establish Kara Co. as a legitimate competitor in the agricultural technology space. When can we start implementation? January 1st. We'll need 3 months for development and testing. Henderson extends his hand. Welcome to the big leagues, Miss Whitman. Walking out of Mitchell's building with a signed contract feels like vindication. My phone buzzes with a text from Stephen. Heard about Henderson. Nicely done. News travels fast in Chicago's business community. By December, whispers spread through Mitchell's firm. 3 clients have quietly switched to unnamed vendors for specialized projects. Nobody connects the dots to me yet, but paranoia grows. Jessica texts me updates. Mitchell's having closed-door meetings with the board. People are nervous. Another message. Angela got reassigned to research. She's basically filing papers now. I feel sympathy for my former colleagues, but business is business. We're solving problems Mitchell's firm couldn't handle. Our team expands to 5 full-time employees. We rent a small office in a converted warehouse. Nothing fancy but functional. Exposed brick walls, concrete floors, huge windows overlooking the Chicago River. Sarah leads business development, Marcus handles technical architecture, David designs user interfaces. I coordinate strategy and client relationships. The work is exhausting but exhilarating. 18-hour days building something we believe in versus 40-hour weeks auditing insurance claims. Stephen visits our office in mid-December. He surveys our setup, whiteboards covered in diagrams, computers humming, coffee cups scattered across desks. This looks like innovation, he says. It feels like it too. Any regrets about leaving Mitchell's firm? I consider the question. 6 months ago, I was a mid-level consultant begging for recognition. Now I'm leading a growing company with meaningful clients. None. Stephen nods. Good, because we're about to accelerate. The acceleration comes through an unexpected channel. Illinois announces a $2.5 million innovation grant for agricultural technology startups. Applications are due January 15th. We should apply, Sarah suggests during a team meeting. What are our chances? Marcus asks. I research previous winners. They tend to favor established companies with proven track records. We're 6 months old with 3 clients, but our pilot results are exceptional. Oak Grove's efficiency improvements caught attention from the state agricultural department. Henderson Industries provides credibility. Our technology demonstrates measurable impact. Let's do it, I decide. We spend 2 weeks crafting the application. Market analysis, technical specifications, financial projections, letters of support from clients. David creates visualizations showing our platform's potential statewide impact. The day we submit, I get a call from an unknown number. Miss Whitman, this is Dr. Het. Rebecca Martinez from the University of Illinois Agricultural Extension. We'd like to discuss potential partnership opportunities. University partnerships weren't on my radar, but Dr. Martinez explains their research network includes 47 cooperative facilities across Illinois. They need technology solutions for data collection and analysis. Your platform could support research that helps thousands of farmers, she says. The conversation lasts 2 hours. By the end, we're planning a pilot program that would demonstrate Caraco's scalability across diverse agricultural environments. Academic credibility plus commercial success plus measurable social impact. Our grant application just got significantly stronger. Mitchell's firm announces layoffs in January. 20% workforce reduction, citing market challenges and client transitions. Angela is among those released. She calls me the day after her termination. Kara, I know this is awkward, but I need advice. The job market is brutal right now. What kind of role are you targeting? Something in agricultural consulting, maybe. The Henderson project taught me a lot, even though it didn't work out. I pause, considering. Angela is smart and hardworking. Her failure on Henderson wasn't incompetence, it was inexperience and poor support. Would you be interested in entry-level work at a growing company? Depends on the company. Mine. Silence. Then, you're offering me a job? I'm offering you an opportunity to learn agricultural technology from the ground up. No shortcuts, no nepotism, just hard work and genuine training. Angela's voice trembles. After everything that happened, that wasn't your fault. Mitchell set you up to fail. 2 days later, Angela joins Caraco as a junior analyst. She works twice as hard as anyone, eager to prove herself without family connections. The team dynamic improves immediately. Angela brings institutional knowledge from Mitchell's firm, plus determination to succeed on her own merits. Stephen visits the following week and meets our expanded team. You're building something special here, he tells me privately. It feels sustainable now. More than sustainable, you're about to disrupt the entire consulting model. The disruption becomes visible in February. A procurement manager at one of Mitchell's remaining agricultural clients calls me directly. Miss Whitman, we're reviewing our consulting relationships. Several colleagues recommended your firm for supply chain optimization. I recognize the company, Prairie Valley Distributors, a major grain marketing cooperative. They've worked with Mitchell's firm for 3 years. What specific challenges are you facing? Cost overruns on logistics, manual processes that should be automated, technology solutions that don't fit our operations. She pauses. Frankly, we're paying premium prices for subpar results. The consultation reveals exactly what I expected. Mitchell's firm sold them generic enterprise software that requires extensive customization. Our platform provides targeted solutions at half the cost. When could you implement? She asks after reviewing our proposal. 6 weeks for basic deployment, 12 weeks for full integration. And Mitchell's firm quoted 18 months for their next upgrade. The contract signature feels routine now, but this client represents a symbolic victory. We're directly competing with my former employer for agricultural business. Word spreads quickly. 2 more of Mitchell's agricultural clients request consultations within the following month. Jessica texts, Mitchell is freaking out. Someone's poaching his farm clients. Another message, he hired a private investigator to research competitors. I forward the messages to Stephen. His response? Let him investigate. Everything we're doing is legal and ethical. The private investigator discovers nothing problematic, but Mitchell's suspicions intensify. According to Jessica, he's convinced a former employee is behind the client defections. He keeps asking about your new job, she tells me over coffee. I told him you're freelancing, but he doesn't believe it. What kind of questions? Whether you mentioned agricultural technology, if you stayed in touch with clients, why you really left. Mitchell's paranoia feels gratifying, but I maintain professional distance. No trash talking, no inside information, no direct competition with non-agricultural clients. The following week, his worst fears materialize. Prairie Valley Distributors terminates their consulting contract and publicly announces partnership with Caraco for supply chain optimization. Trade publications cover the story. Emerging agtech firm wins major cooperative contract. The article mentions my background at a prominent Chicago consulting firm without naming Mitchell's company. But industry insiders understand the implications. A 6-month-old startup just outmaneuvered an established consulting firm for a prestigious client. Stephen forwards me the article with a note. The dominoes are falling. That evening, my phone rings. Unknown number, but the voice is familiar. Hello, Kara? This is Mitchell Dane. I think we need to talk. My hands shake slightly as I recognize his tone, the same condescending authority he used to dismiss my little startup idea. What can I do for you, Mitchell? 20. I'm calling about the Prairie Valley situation, Mitchell says. There seems to be some confusion about intellectual property and non-compete agreements. I expected this conversation. What confusion? Technology you developed while employed at our firm belongs to us. Your current venture appears to be using proprietary methodologies. It's a bluff. My agricultural platform was developed entirely after leaving his firm, using my personal resources. But Mitchell hopes to intimidate me with legal threats. Which specific methodologies concern you? A pause. He's fishing for information, hoping I'll reveal something actionable. Supply chain optimization algorithms, client relationship protocols, market analysis frameworks, all of which I developed independently after my employment ended. That's debatable. I smile, knowing he can't see my expression. Actually, it's well documented. Timestamps, development logs, third-party verification. Everything is provable. Another pause, longer this time. Kara, let's be practical. You're a talented consultant, but you're in over your head. Running a startup is different from developing proposals. The condescension in his voice triggers familiar anger. Is that your professional assessment? It's friendly advice. Come back to the firm. We'll work out an arrangement that benefits everyone. The offer surprises me. 6 months ago, I would have been grateful for any acknowledgement. Now it feels like desperation. I'm happy with my current situation. Are you sure? Startups fail at a 90% rate. Good thing we're in the successful 10%. I hang up, adrenaline coursing through my veins. Mitchell's legal threats materialize as a cease and desist letter claiming ownership of agricultural technology concepts. Our lawyer laughs. This is nonsense. They're claiming ownership of public knowledge. We respond, detailing the factual timeline. Their retreat to vague accusations reveals desperation. The grant announcement comes Thursday morning. Illinois awards Kara $400,000. The press release validates everything we've built. Chicago Business Journal runs a feature. Local startup disrupts agricultural consulting. The article mentions Mitchell's firm losing agricultural clients to more agile competitors. Jessica texts, Mitchell saw the article. He threw a coffee mug at his office wall. Stephen walks into my office carrying a folder. Congratulations on the grant. Ready for the next level? He opens the folder, revealing a term sheet. Series A funding. $2 million. My vision blurs slightly. $2 million. What's the catch? No catch. You've proven the concept, demonstrated market demand, shown scalable growth. Time to go national. The joint pitch meeting is scheduled for Tuesday. Midwestern Agricultural Alliance, a consortium representing cooperative facilities across 5 states. I arrive early at the glass-walled conference room. At 2, the consortium representatives file in. At 2:05, Mitchell walks in, carrying his laptop and wearing his most confident smile. My stomach drops. He's here to compete for the same contract. We have 2 presentations today, the consortium chairman says. First, Mitchell Dane from Dane & Associates. Second, Kara Whitman from Kara Co. Actually, a voice says from the doorway, there's been a change of plans. Stephen Lorne walks into the room. We're only hearing one presentation today, and it's not from Dane & Associates. Mitchell's face goes pale. Stephen, what's going on? What's going on, Mitchell, is that I'm terminating our business relationship, effective immediately. You see, Mitchell, Stephen continues, 6 months ago, you made a critical error. You mocked genuine innovation in front of an investor. Mitchell's hands tremble. Stephen, I think there's been a misunderstanding. No misunderstanding. You called Kara's agricultural platform a little startup idea suitable for book clubs. The consortium members watch Mitchell's humiliation unfold. I've been funding Kara Co. since the day after your boardroom mockery, Stephen says. Every success they've achieved, I've been backing them. Mitchell's voice cracks. Why? Because you don't understand where markets are moving. Kara saw the future. You couldn't see past your own arrogance. The consortium chairman clears his throat. Mr. Dane, perhaps it would be best if you left. After Mitchell leaves, I deliver our presentation. The consortium asks detailed questions about scalability and integration. At the end, the chairman says, Ms. Whitman, we'd like to move forward with Kara Co. as our exclusive technology partner. 6 months later, I'm sitting on a grain elevator porch in rural Iowa, sipping coffee with the facility manager. Our platform has optimized their operations so effectively that they're expanding into 3 adjacent counties. My phone buzzes with updates. 2 new states want to join our cooperative network. Our technology demonstrates measurable impact. Stephen calls as I'm driving back to Chicago. Congratulations on the Iowa expansion. Ready for international markets? I laugh, remembering my tiny studio apartment. Now we're discussing global expansion. Mitchell ever contact you again? Radio silence. His firm downsized by 60%. I park outside our proper technology center with 47 employees and clients across 12 states. Mitchell was wrong about everything except one thing. I wasn't ready for his version of leadership. I was ready for something much bigger.